Hello viewers, welcome to my channel Vaira Citadel. In the last video we saw about Venn diagram. We learned how to draw Venn diagrams and how to solve problems related to Venn diagrams. In this video today we are going to look into problems related to fractions. I'm sure you all would have studied fractions in your secondary school education, like in class 6th, 7th or 8th. But some of the students of arts and humanities might have lost touch with mathematics during their college studies. And so we will refresh the topic in this video, what are fractions, what are the different types of fractions, how to name them, and what are the examples for different types of fractions, and how to add them, how to subtract them, how to do problems related to fraction. And before entering into the topic, I would urge all of you to register for the upcoming UGC-NET exam. Since the last date for online registration for UGC-NET has been extended up to 31st of October this month. So kindly register before it is too late. And also I would like to inform you that the amount for UGC JRF scholarship amount has been increased from 31 to 37,000, and also the amount for SRF Senior Research Fellowship has been increased from 35 to 42,000. So please register before it is too late and also prepare for the NET exam. See what a fraction is. Fraction is a part of a whole. Whole is one full whole. And fraction is a rational number expressed in the form of P by Q, where P denotes the numerator and Q as a denominator, and where Q is not equal to 0. Q's value should not be 0. For example, this is one full whole. 1, 2, 3. This is a whole number. And fraction is half of it, 1 by 2, where the number which is above the horizontal line, the bar, is the numerator. 1 is the numerator and 2 is the denominator. And suppose this is one full whole. This is a whole, and one part out of this 2. This is a fraction. So this is a fraction, 1 by 2. So you got it? Well, now we will see what are the different types of fraction. There are proper fraction. Proper fraction is where the numerator is less than the denominator. Like, for example, 1 by 2 is a proper fraction. And also 1 by 4, 1/4, quarter, is also a proper fraction. Or let us look into a bigger number, like 2004 by 8006. So this is also a proper fraction where the numerator is less than the denominator. And improper fraction is just the reverse, where the numerator will be greater than the denominator, 4 by 3. So this is of course illogical, 4 parts out of 3, but right now it is enough, you know, there is a fraction called improper where because this can be written as, mathematically it is possible, improper fraction is possible. So where the numerator is greater than the denominator, 4 by 3 or even 73 by 11. And also 4 by 4 is also an improper fraction. Why? Because 4 by 4 is one whole. So this is also called improper fraction. And what are simple fraction? See, all these what we mentioned above are simple example for simple fraction, where both the numerators and denominator, they are all integers. What are integers? Integers are whole numbers. Zero, it includes zero also, which is the neutral number, and minus numbers, -1, -2, -3, this side of the number line, and also the plus number, positive integers and negative integers, +1, +2, +3, +4, any number, any whole number is an integer, and zero is a neutral integer, and all minus numbers are also integer, but they're all whole numbers, no fraction. So all the above are simple fractions. Okay, the integers are involved, both in numerator and in denominator. And what are complex, or sometimes called as compound fraction? What is it? It has got a fraction either in the numerator or in the denominator, or both in the numerator or denominator. Example for complex fraction is 43 by 4 by 5. See, 4 by 5 is a fraction, so it comes in the denominator, but this is an integer. So 4 by 5 is there in the denominator. So this is a compound or complex fraction. And again, one more example where the numerator has a fraction, 23 by 2. This is a fraction by 87. So here there is a fraction in the numerator and denominator integer. And let us see an example where both the numerator and the denominator has fractions. 56. Any number you can put. 56 by 7 divided by another fraction. 28 by 89. So you have fraction both on the line above the bar, and both numerator and in the denominator you have fraction. So these are all examples for complex fraction. Now we will see the other types of fraction. Mixed fraction. What are mixed fraction? It has both integers and a fraction. For example, 7 and half. Here 7 is an integer and half, this one is a fraction. So this is a mixed fraction. And like fraction, what are like fractions? They have the common denominator. The denominator is the same for all these fractions. For example, 2 by 8. And one more fraction, 3 by 8. And one more fraction, 4 by 8. So we know that 2 parts by 8 and 3 parts by 8, 4 parts by 8, they all are 3 fractions, and all of them have the common denominator, which is 8. So this is called like fraction. And what are unlike fractions? They have the different denominators. For example, 2 by 9, sorry, 2 by 9, and 6 by 17. And any number you can put, 5 by 18. So they have, these 3 fractions have different denominators. One has got 9 as the denominator, another one has got 17 as the denominator, another one has got 18 as the denominator. So these are all called unlike fractions. Alright. So when talking about a fraction, there are certain facts you should remember always. The first point is, if the denominator of the fractions are the same, then the fraction with the highest numerator will be the greatest. Example, we have 1 by 8, you have 2 by 8, and you have 3 by 8, and you have 4 by 8, and you have 5 by 8. You can keep on adding 5 by 8, 6 by 8, so on. So which is the greatest number here? This is a fraction, this is a fraction, this is another fraction, this is 4 by 8 is another fraction. Which one is the greatest value? The one with the highest numerator, 4 by 8, which is equivalent to half. So 4 by 5, the greatest numerator, highest numerator will have the greatest value. See, it is very simple. 1 part by 8, 2 parts by 8, which is greater, 4 parts by 8. So if the denominators are the same, then the fraction with the highest numerator will be the greatest number. Got it? And the second point is, in many fraction, if the difference between the numerator and the denominator is the same, then the fraction with the smallest numerator is the smallest fraction, and the one with the highest numerator will be the largest fraction. The first point you already know, but this one, look into it. In many fractions, if the difference between numerator and denominator is the same, for example, 1 by 2, then 2 by 3, another fraction, and 3 by 4, and then you have 4 by 5, then you have 5 by 6. See, in all these fractions, the difference is, the numerator is also, the difference is 1. 1 plus 1, 2. 2 plus 1, 3. 3 plus 1, 4. 4 plus 1, 5. And in the denominator also, we are adding 1. 2 plus 1, 3. 3 plus 1, 4. 4 plus 1, 5. So the difference between the numerator and the denominator remains 1. So if you minus the numerator from the denominator, you get 1 here. And here also 3 minus 2, 1. 4 minus 3, 1. 5 minus 4. So the difference between the numerator and the denominator is the same in all these fractions. Then the one with the highest numerator, this one, 5 is the highest numerator. And this fraction will have the largest value. The largest fraction out of this, whether half is big or this one is the biggest fraction, largest fraction. Then comes this one. You got the point? Now, the third important point, how to perform certain calculations like addition, subtraction with fractions. To add fractions with the common denominator is very easy. Just take out the common denominator and then add the numerator. That is all. It's very simple to add fractions with same denominator. We'll see here an example. 13 by 6 is a fraction, improper fraction. And you want to add this with 7 by 6, which is again an improper fraction. Why? Because the numerator is greater than the denominator, improper. We are adding two improper fractions. And how this is common denominator. 6 is common to both the fractions. So you take out the common denominator 6 and you just add the numerator 13 plus 17. What is 13 plus 17 is 20. 20 and put the common denominator. 20 by 6 is the answer. So it is very simple to add or even subtract fractions with common denominator. And now similarly for subtraction, you need to do the same thing. Take out the common denominator and minus the numbers. For example, the same number we will take 13 by same fraction 13 by 6 minus 7 by 6. So which is the common denominator? 6 is the common denominator. Take it out and you subtract the 7, the numerator 7 from the numerator 13. What will you get? 6 by 6, which is again improper fraction because it's equivalent to 6 by 6 is equivalent to 1. So we are not going to bother about the equivalent fraction now. We will just see how to add fraction, how to subtract the fraction. So if it is common denominator, addition and subtraction is very, very simple. Now the next point is adding fractions with the different denominators. We'll see an example. Suppose you want to add 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3. So these are two fractions you are going to add, and they have got unlike denominators. That's what I have said as a different denominators. That is unlike denominators. And now how will you add? So common denominator, we saw it's very simple. Now if the denominators are not common, if they are different, how are we going to do? So you have to find the LCM. What is LCM? The least common multiple of these two denominators. If you have many fractions, they are also the same procedure. Okay. And the least common multiple for this 2 and 3, for both these denominators, the least common multiple is 6, because 6 is divisible by 2 and 6 is divisible by 3 also. So what is the least common multiple? Here is 6. So how many times the 2 can be divided with 6? It is 3 times. 3 times 2 is 6. So put here in the numerator 3 and put the plus sign because this is plus addition. And divide the same thing by the next denominator is 3. Divide 6 by 3, it is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. So we are rewriting the fraction here. 1 by 2 is equivalent to 3 by 6. And 1 by 3 is equivalent to 2 by 6. Now you add now the common denominator. So we have got the common denominator 6, and now you add this 3 parts by 6 and 2 parts by 6. It will become 5 part by 6. So the most important thing is you have to find the least common multiple. And similarly for subtraction also the same thing. You have to find the least common multiple, and instead of addition you have to do the subtraction. And here we do, suppose we want to subtract the fraction 7 by 9 minus 2 by 3. We are going to subtract the fraction 2 by 3 from 7 by 9. So what is the least common multiple? 9 is the least common multiple, because you can divide 9 divided by 9 is 1, and 9 divided by 3 is 3. So first 9 divided by 9 is 1. 1 into 7, 7. And put the same sign minus, and divide 9 by 3. How many times it goes? 3 times 3 is 9. So 3 into 2. You have to multiply it by the numerator. 3 into 2, 6. Now you subtract this common denominator 9. 7 minus 6 is 1. 1 by 9. So the answer is 1 by 9. Got it? See, now the next important point to be remembered is that if the numerator and the denominator of the fractions are multiplied by the same number, then the value of the fraction remains unchanged. We will explain this with an example. Suppose we take the fraction 3 by 8. 3 is the numerator and 8 is the denominator. If they are multiplied by the same number, so both the numerator and denominator we are going to multiply by 4. 3 into 4 and 8 into 4. Then the value of the fraction remains unchanged. 4 3s are 12. 8 4s are 32. And you simplify this, you divide this by 4. You divide this by 4, you get 3 by 8. The same thing. So the value remains unchanged if you are going to multiply both the numerator and the denominator with the same number. Okay. And you can do this with another number. Instead of 4, we will multiply both the numerator and the denominator with the number 5. 3 into 5 is equal to 15 and 8 into 5 is equal to 40. And 15 by 40 can be simplified as divided by 5 again. 3 and 8. So the value is same. If you are going to multiply both the numerator and denominator by the same number, the value of the fraction remain unchanged. They are called equivalent fractions. This 3 by 8 and 15 by 40 are called equivalent fraction because they have the same value. And it is the same case with division also. So if both the numerator and the denominator are divided by the same number, the value remains unchanged. Suppose we'll explain this with an example. Suppose this is a fraction 4 by 8. You divide it both the numerator and this thing by 2. 4 divided by 2 is equal to 2. And in the same way, the same number, you divide 8, the denominator with the 2, you get 4. So 2 by 4, same value. They are equivalent fraction. 2 by 4 is equivalent to 4 by 8, which is half, isn't it? So this is also half, this is also half. The value is half, 1 by 2. And we'll see with another number. Divide both the numbers with 4. You divide this with 4 and you divide this with 4. What do you get? You get 4 divided by 4, 1. And 8 divided by 4, you get 2. Again, half. Half is equivalent to 4 by 8. So this is the point. 7th and 8th point says this thing. If the numerator and denominator of the fraction are multiplied by the same number, then the value remains unchanged. And the same way, if both of them are divided by the same number, then also the value of the fraction remains unchanged. Now, the next 9th point is simplification of fraction. That is to find out. Simplification is otherwise to get the equivalent fraction. This involves finding the HCF, the highest common factor. Factor is the number which you are going to divide with. So the highest number is the highest common factor. Suppose, for example, take the fraction 15 by 30. You want to simplify this fraction. See, by practice we know both are divisible by 5, isn't it? Just looking at the number itself, we can say both are divisible by 5. So that 5 so both divide both by the number 5. What will you get? You will get 3, 6. 3 5s are 15 and 3 6 are 30. Now again this can be divided by 3. Both numerator and denominator can be, find again the common factor. The divisor is 3, isn't it? It can be divided by 3. 2 you cannot divide. So all this will come by practice. So this is again divide both numerator and denominator by 3. Divide by 3. You get 1 by 2. 2 into 3 are 6. So first factor is 5 and the second factor is 3. Multiply this 5 into 3, you get 15. So 15 is the highest common factor. So if you divide 15 by 30 by the highest common factor, you can directly divide it by 15 if you know. Okay. If you divide both numerator and denominator by 15, you get 1 by 2, which is an equivalent of 15 by 13. So this is called simplification. Every time when we write the fraction, you will give them in the simplest form. Instead of saying 15 by 30, you should always say 1 by 2. So immediately you will know this is the half of that. So the 1 by 2 is the simplest form of the fraction. By 15 by 3, it is equivalent fraction. So how will you simplify? By using the common factor. If you are going to use it by for first time, divide by 5, then by 3. You can do it in two steps also, or directly using only one step, using the highest common factor, which is 15. If you know the 15th table, it is easy. Even without knowing 15th table, you can also do it this way, but both the method will give you the same answer. By practice, you will be able to do it faster and faster. So always you should express the fraction in its simplest form. Instead of saying 15 by 30, you should mention it as 1 by 2. And the 10th point to be remembered is comparing two fractions with different denominators. Like we added, we subtracted fractions with the different denominators. No, it is just like the same. You are going to compare and tell. You are not going to add. You are just going to compare and tell which is greater and which is smaller. So here also you have to find the least common multiple and then find out which one is bigger. Suppose for you are going to compare these two fractions, 15, and tell which is greater. 15 divided by 30 is one fraction, and the other fraction is 75 by 100. You have to, because different denominators. Here 30 is the denominator and the second fraction 100 is the denominator. You have to compare these both, which one is greater. Now find the LCM, least common multiple. Which is the least common multiple? See here, the first, the biggest number. The multiple for this is 200, but 200 is not divisible by 30. So the next common multiple is for 100 is the next multiple for 100 is 300. See whether it is divisible by 30. Yes. So the least common multiple is 300. The LCM is 300. How many times 30 will go in 300? 100 times. 100 into 150. No, 10 times. 30. How many times 30 will go in 300? If you divide 300 by 30, you will get 10. 10 into 15, 150. Now, 100, how many times 100 will go? If you divide 300 by 100, you'll get 3. 3 into 75 is 3 into 75, 225. So, which is greater? 150 parts by 300. 150 by 300 or 225 by 300. Which is bigger? You tell me, looking at the number. The denominator is the common, same. Which is bigger? Which has got the greater value? 150 parts per 300 parts or 250 parts per 300? 250 by 300 is the bigger one. So the second number, that is the 75 by 100, is greater than 15 by 30. You know, just by looking at it, we can say 15 by 30 is half and 70 by 100 is 3/4. And half is bigger or 3/4 is bigger? 3/4 is bigger. Just because the number is familiar to us, we can say straight away this is greater. But if suppose if it is not half and 3/4 but some other fraction, then you have to find out the LCM. How will you find out the LCM? That is, LCM is the number, the least smallest number, which is the multiple of both. It should be multiplied, it should be divided by both the denominators of both the fractions. That is LCM. And divide that LCM by this denominator and then multiply the numerator. Then you get this both. So you are rewriting the fractions again. So instead of writing 15 by 30, 70 by 100, which are different denominators, you are giving the common denominator for both the fractions, 150 by 300, 250 by 300. So we can easily compare which is bigger, 150 parts per 300 or 225 parts per 300. We know that 225 by 300 is greater than 150 by 300. It's as simple as that. Now, look at this problem. Now we get into problems now using fractions. The first problem is arrange the following fraction in ascending order. So you know ascending order is from the smallest to the biggest number you have to go. Now 1, 2, 3, 4 fractions are given, and there are two ways of doing it. One thing is because the denominator is unlike, they are not common, the different denominators for all the four fractions, you can convert them into common denominator by using least common multiple, LCM, finding out the LCM. Another way is simply by converting them into decimal form. How will you convert them into decimal? This is fraction form. 15 divided by 32. Numerator divided by the denominator. If you divide 15 by 32, so divide 15 by 32, you get decimal form. So you get 0.46. In the same way, divide 3 by 4. You get 3 by 4 is 0.75. And divide 30 by 50, you get 0.6. And you divide 10 by 15, you get 0.66. Now arrange them. Now which is the greatest one? This one, the second number. 3 by 4 is the biggest number. So put that at the end, 3 by 4. And then comes the last number, 0.66, which is the last number, 10 by 50. And then comes this 0.6, third number. Third number is 35. And the least number, the smallest number is 0.46, which is the first number, 15 by 30. Now this is in ascending order. This is the least number and this is the highest number. Got it? Or you have to find out the LCM. So LCM 32. So it's very difficult. You have to multiply 32 into 4 into 50 into 15. So instead you find out the fraction. That is a long procedure, but that way also you can do finding out the LCM and then arrange them and then find out, because you have the common denominator, you can easily compare. Or you just divide the numerator by the denominator and you get the answer in decimal forms. Compare it. So you can compare this, which is 0.4 is bigger or 0.4. So write them in ascending order from the least number to the largest number. Got it? Now look at the second problem. Find the value of 4 1 by 3 plus 5 2 by 7 plus 9 by 7. See here, the first two numbers are mixed fractions. By mixed fraction, both fraction is there and an whole integer is there. 4 is an integer and 1 by 3 is a fraction. And here also there is an integer 5 and then one fraction 2 by 7. And then one improper fraction 9 by 7 is there. Why improper? Because 9 numerator is here greater. Usually numerator is lesser than denominator for a proper fraction. So here they are mixed fraction. So in that case, we have to rewrite these fraction. How will you, because they are mixed, we want to write them as simple fraction. One numerator and denominator. How will we do that? 4 1 by 3. So multiply this denominator with this number 4 into 3 plus 1 divided by 3. So 4 3s are 12 plus 1 is 13. 13 by 3. Okay, plus this denominator 7 into 5. The integer 5 into 7, 35. 35 plus 2, 37. 37 by 7 plus 9 by 7. See, 9 by 7, it is in the form of fraction but improper fraction. See, 9 by 7 can also be written as 9 divided by 7 is equal to 1, 2 by 7. So this is mixed. So 1 into 7, 7 plus 2, 9, 9 by 7. So now we have converted all the fractions, mixed fraction into simple fraction. Now you add, because the denominator is different, you have to find the LCM. Because the denominator is not common. It's common for 2, 7, 7, but here it is 3. So you have to find the least common multiple, which is 21. 7 into 3 is 21. So 21 divided by 3 is 7. 7 into 13 is 7 into 13 is 91. This is addition. So plus 21 divided by 7 is 3. 3 times 37 is 111 plus 21 divided by 7 is 3. 3 into 9 is 27. So now we are rewriting the fraction with the common denominator 21, which is the LCM. And we can add, because the denominator is common for all three fractions. That is 91 by 21, 111 by 21, 27 by 21. You add the three numbers, you get 229. 229 divided by 21. So this is the answer. And again, simplify this, divide 229 by 21, you get 10.9. So this is the value of this problem. Okay, they are in mixed form. Mixed fractions. You've got integer and a fraction. And here it is improper fraction. You're adding all the three. So you have to convert this mixed form into simple fraction. How will you convert the mixed fraction into simple? By multiplying this denominator with the integer, adding the numerator divided by the denominator. Got it? So look at the third problem. Find the value of 2 by 3rd of 3 by 5 of 5 by 8 of 1024. You see, once you see this word of, this of, it is a complex or compound fraction where you have integer and fractions in the numerator or in the denominator or both. So that is where, when you get these words, this of. So it's a compound fraction where you have fraction above, fraction below, or both, or either one and in the numerator or in denominator. So you can rewrite this like this: 2 by 3 of 3 by 5. So into 3 by, don't change the numerators and denominators, write them, of 5 by 8 of the integer 1000. So this of you can rewrite this as 2 by 3 of 3 by 5 of 5 by 8 of 1024. It's the same. Now you can easily simplify them. 3 goes off, 5 goes off, this 2 divided by 4, and now 1024 divided by 10, you get 5 4s are 20 and 6 4s are 22. You got it? So this is very simple. You should know what is the meaning of this of 2 by 3rd of 3 by 5 or 5 by 8 of 1024. You should rewrite this, then simplify. That's it. Now look at the fourth problem. Find the value of 6 4 by 7 divided by 7. It's a division problem, and the fraction here 6 4 by 7. This is a mixed fraction where integer is there and then a fraction is there. So first you have to convert this into a simple fraction. How will you do this? Multiply this denominator with the integer. 6 7s are 42 plus 2 is 46 divided by this fraction here 7. So I have rewritten this 6 mixed fraction 6 4 by 7 into this simple fraction, not mixed one. This is a improper fraction. 6 multiplied by 7 42 plus 4 46 divided by 7. So I have rewritten this 6 4 by 7 as 46 by 7. Why? Because this is a mixed fraction. I have rewritten this as a simple fraction. Now this divided by 7, always when you are going to divide a fraction, then you have to put the reciprocal of this. What is the reciprocal? The 7 number is 7 by 1, but you have to change it. Bring the numerator to the top. Bring the denominator to the top and the numerator to the bottom. 7 is always 7 by 1, isn't it? 7 divided by 1 is 7. So the reciprocal of this is 1 by 7. If you reverse it, 7 will come to the below this horizontal bar. So you have to bring the numerator to the bottom here, because it is division, only in the division problems, not in multiplication, not in addition, or not in subtraction. Always in division, whenever you want to divide it by a number, you have to reverse it. So now it is 46 divided by 7 into 7, 49. So this is the answer. So that is the point. Always in division, you have to reverse it. Got it? If it is a mixed fraction, you have to convert it into a simple fraction by multiplying the denominator with the integer, then add the numerator, then put the denominator. That is how you get this 46 divided by 7. How did you get this? You should know. Then divided by 7, the reciprocal of this is 1 by 7. Then you get 46 by 49. Alright. Now the fifth problem is find the value of 8 by 12 plus 6 by 16 and 8 by 24. Three fractions are given and you are supposed to add them. All three are proper fractions. Why? Because the numerator is lesser than the denominator. And now you find the LCM, least common multiple of all the three denominators, 12, 16, 24. What is the least common multiple? 48. Take the highest number, which is 24. So first multiple is 48. The first multiple of 24 is 48. And see whether it is divisible by 12. Yes. Whether it is divisible by 16. Yes. So that is the least common multiple, 48. And divide it by the denominator 12. How many times 12 makes 48? 4 times. 4 into 8, 32, plus 48 divided by 16, 3 times. And 3 into 6, 18, plus divide 48 by 24, 2 times. 2 into 18, 16. Now add all the 3 because we have rewritten the fraction with the common denominator. Because here it's all different denominators, we are converting them into common denominator, which is the least common multiple, 48. Now you add all the 3. What will you get? 66 or 66 divided by 46, 48. Now you divide 66 by 48. What will you get? Divide this by 48. 1 times 48. The remaining is 18. 18 by 1. 18 by 48. This 18 by 48 can be simplified. If we divide it by 6, both the numerator and denominator, if we divide it by 6, 3 by 8. Got it? So the answer is 1, 3 by 8. 3 by 8 and 18 by 48 are equivalent fractions. Okay. So it's very simple. Just because the denominator are different, unlike fractions, you have to find the common denominator. How will you find the common denominator? By finding the LCM, least common multiple. Least common multiple of 12, 16, 24. So how will you find it? Take the biggest number and find the first multiple, 48. See whether it is divisible by 12 or 16. Yes, here 48 is divisible by 12 and 16. So that is the least common multiple. Then divide this denominator, then multiply it by the numerator. Then you add all of them and put the same denominator. And then you divide the numerator by the denominator. Then you get 18 by 48. 18 by 48 can be simplified and rewritten as 3 by 8, which is the equivalent fraction. Okay. See, the next one is a worded problem. So far we have seen just the add, subtraction, or arrange them in order. So this problem is worded. That means you are given some information and you have to find out the answer. See the problem. Rajan travels 48 kilometers with 3/5 of his petrol tank. 3/5 means 3 by 5. 3 parts out of 5 parts. And how far he would travel in the same rate with full tank of petrol. Full tank means 5 by 5. Right? One full. Now, so for 3/5 of the tank, he can travel 480 kilometers. So 480, you should divide it by 3 by 5. So this is a compound fraction. See, a number on the numerator divided by the denominator, you have a fraction 3 by 5. So you are going to divide 480 kilometers by 3 by 5 in order to find out what is 3/5 of a tank. Okay. So always in that one full, that is why we are dividing by 3 by 5. We have to find out one full is 5 by 5. So if you want to divide 480 by 3 by 5 fraction, then what is the rule for division? You have to put the reciprocal of 3 by 5. What is the reciprocal of 3 by 5? 5 by 3. So put the recipe 480 multiplication 3 by 5 reciprocal is 5 by 3. Then multiply it. 3 6 times 16 to 5 is equal to 3800. So you got it 800 kilometers. So you can there is a trick to check if 3/5 of the petrol tank he could go 480. Definitely with full tank, which is 5 by 5, he should go more than this for 480. So definitely 500, 800 kilometer is more than 480. So this is a way to check whether your answer could be the right one. It's not the right answer because anything above 480 is maybe right, but here 800 is above 480. You can be assured of the correctness of your answer. Because why? Because we are dividing it 3/5 of the tank he could go 480. Then how long he could go for one full, that is 5 by 5. So because it involves division, you have to put the reciprocal of the fraction and multiply it. 480 into 5 by 3. Instead of 3 by 5, you put 5 by 3, then simplify it, you get 800 kilometers. That is all to it. Okay. Well, viewers, that is all in this video on fractions. So you have learned what are fractions, what are the different types of fractions with examples and how to solve problems related to fraction like adding, subtracting, multiplying, division, and worded problems on fractions. And we'll come up with the next topic on UGC-NET paper 1 in the next video. And if you have not subscribed to my video, please subscribe to Vaira Citadel and click the bell icon for the notifications. And I'm trying to attach a bit of the video of my studio inauguration, Vaira Citadel inauguration function. I've already uploaded one bit of the video, but I'm trying to do it the next half of the video. I'm going to attach this video. And if you don't see one, that means my editing has failed. I am very poor in editing. You will get it in maybe in the later videos. Until then, bye bye.